Hey everyone, it's Victoria from the Soul Nurturer channel. How are you all doing out there? I had it on my schedule to do a video yesterday and I didn't get to it. And then I thought, oh, I need to do it today, and I didn't want to. And then I thought, I may not want to, but I need to. And there are some times when it's tricky to discern that, the need and the want, and when to just give ourselves some grace and say, I'm not doing the thing I need to do today because I can't. I don't have the capacity. And the times when we just need to say, I got this. So, and oftentimes, I was just having a conversation with my friend Asha on the Sister My Soul channel, which is also available to you. In one of our conversations anyway, we were talking about resistance and showing up anyway. But sometimes you try to push forward and the message is, no, you're not meant to push forward. You're meant to stop, refill, rest, replenish, or just take another step back so that you can get a better sense of how to move forward. So, so I thought I'd show up because I have been having kind of a, just a okay in my spirit, but kind of some challenges. Like I was describing to someone else today, things just seem harder and more slow moving and not so fluid, right? And so I thought I would do a talk on the transformational cycle, because that's what we're in. You hear me talk about this over and over and over again, that we are in a very intense time of transformation. And so I hear back from a lot of my clients and friends some of these things, like some statements like this. I'm just so tired. Yeah, anybody? I relate to that one. Just so tired. I was also talking to Asha in the recording earlier today about compassion fatigue. We can just feel like our hearts are just so open and giving energy to all the stories we're reading, all the things that are going on, and it's so much that we can just burn out and our wells run dry and we can feel compassion fatigue. Now, compassion fatigue is like, it's almost like, yeah, I don't have the capacity of the compassion I used to have, or you feel apathetic, or you feel just not like your normal self, the way that you would respond to horrendous news. There's also overexposure to a lot of intense stuff going on right now too, and I always tell people to pace yourself with getting news. Of course, you want to know what's going on in the world, but don't spend a lot of time there, because we can become desensitized to this very shocking information happening now on the daily, right? So you start to get desensitized, like this is the new normal, and this is not the new normal. This is a transformational cycle. So I just wanted to reach out to you and give you, just to say, of course, as I always say, you're not alone in this. And a lot of times we get stuck in our own inner worlds and we think, I'm the only one that's feeling this or experiencing this. No, you're not. I think we're all, disoriented right now. A lot of people having trouble tracking, what day is it? What time is it? Who am I? I often say too, this is an existential crisis we're in. We don't know who we are individually, and we certainly don't know, and I'm talking about for those of us in the US, we don't know who we are as a country. Our identity is really, unknown. Who are we? Who were we? There's one party wants us to be who we were, like in the 50s. No, I'm not going to be political here. And then there's another party that wants us to unfold the possibility of other things and to change things up. And the one thing that we all have in common is we don't like change. And our ego certainly doesn't like change, right? But we must be willing to change and shift and try new things in order to evolve, to transform. So here is my take on the transformational cycle. And here's how it came to me. I've always had a version of this kind of, but I wrote down some more clear, delineating. This is one phase of it. Here's another phase. I woke up, as I do in my morning, with my spiritual time in the morning. I wake up, I catch my dreams, I review my dreams, and then I check in with myself. How am I feeling? What's my energy like? And I try to do that throughout the day, and I invite you to do that. Again, the hand over heart, just check in from time to time, especially when you feel really pulled into the external. You feel scared, you feel angry, whatever you're feeling, and it's because of what's happening in the world, come back and really connect in. What's going on with me right now? What am I feeling? So in the morning when I do this, I often get these, I call them my downloads. Like suddenly I'll have this thought and I don't think it's for me, my soul, maybe God. And this is what came, how am I doing? Where am I at? And it was this, let's see. You're no longer a caterpillar, and you're not yet a butterfly. And my whole body, my whole being, I was like, yeah, that's exactly where I am. I'm no longer what I was, who I was, but I'm not yet the expansion of my potential. I haven't fulfilled my potential, and I'm in the gooey transformational phase of this journey. And yes, we reflect on the symbol of transformation, and this is what my class, online class, Shelter and Soul, is all about, that I put out there. I think I put it out there in March, right when all this started happening, when we were in quarantine. I was like, oh good, we'll go through a process together. And it was going to be 21 days. And you know that saying that if you want to make God laugh, tell God your plans. Like, yeah, we're going to transform in 21 days. Woo! Well, that started in March. It's still September, and I'm still unfolding that class with my participants. I only had a few participants, and so they are going, oh no, let's slow down, because I'm not even in the next segment. So it's a slow unfolding. There's no check the list, like, oh, did it. Yesterday I completely let go of everything that was not serving me. I'm done with that, and let's move to number 2. No, it's a little different, right? So here is my take on transformational unfolding. First, let me get back up here to this screen, because I want to make sure I don't have these memorized, and my computer is glitching. This is just the way it is right now. What I'm making peace with. Things aren't working the way we want them to. Make peace with that, because it's what seems to be happening in this time of uncertainty. And I'll tell you in a moment what phase I think we are collectively. And I'd be interested to hear what you think about it. Anyway, here we are. Phase 1 of the transformational cycle is we recognize that the old way no longer works. Our old way of doing things, our old way of being, our conditioned self, the adapted self that helped us stay safe, the structures in our world. Remember, as I share these videos, I'm talking about the microcosm and the macrocosm, individual and collective, okay? So yeah, we recognize that old ways no longer work. Do you see any of that in the world anywhere? Do you see any of that in yourself? And so the spiritual practice, so I'm going to talk about the phase, and then what I believe a spiritual quality or practice would be helpful here. And so the first spiritual practice is just to get real, to acknowledge, yeah, this isn't working. And if it's not working, then we know there's something possible beyond. But first, we just need to acknowledge, get real. The next phase is to recognize it is time to release and give up the old way of being and doing. And again, individually, what are the habits, the patterns, the thoughts that aren't helping you? You remember when you acknowledge, gosh, I'm feeling stuck. I'm not feeling like myself. I'm feeling anything but my optimum way of being. You're in a transformational cycle, and just recognizing what do you need to do and what phase are you in. So it's time to release and give up doing some things the old way. The spiritual practice is the powerful tool of surrender. Now, people don't like the idea of surrendering because they associate it with giving up. Very, very different. Giving up is giving up. It's like folding your arms saying, I'm not doing anything. Surrendering is an engagement process. It's saying, however you connect to the divine, to God, Creator, your higher self, the way I'm doing it isn't working, and I surrender it. I lay it down. I put it all down. And if I'm not holding it and trying to use that to be who I was, there's open possibilities that will be coming around the corner. But first, we surrender. So then this is the phase, well, I'll say it and you tell me if you think we're getting closer to where we are collectively. And maybe this is where some of you are individually. And that is that you enter into a state of chaos and deconstruction. In my Shelter and Soul class, I use the metaphor of the butterfly transforming. My phase 1 is going into the cocoon. Phase 2 is dissolving. So, and then phase 3 is emerging. So, so this is the phase that, yes, I think that we are in collectively. A lot of chaos, a lot of deconstruction, or on the verge of it. We're seeing old systems not serving all, so they need to be deconstructed, they need to be reconfigured, they need to be rebuilt, and for ourselves as well. You know, it's like, do you ever notice, like, you know, you're going through your routine? Well, there are no routines, but you're trying to create a routine, and you feel confused, you feel disconnected from flow, and maybe there's some chaos in your life. This is transformation, okay? All right, so then next phase is the one I touched on, or what Spirit gave to me when I woke up. You're no longer a caterpillar and you're not yet a butterfly, right? So what was, I should put a comma in my writing, what was no longer exists. And what is yet to be hasn't arrived or formed yet. Anyone in this cycle? So this may be that you've gone through a lot of the transformational cycle and you've surrendered, you have gone through this just uneasy time, and you feel like ready for the new job, the new relationship, you feel like you've done your work. Well, guess what? You're going to be in this phase. Oops, did I say, gosh, I don't think I said the spiritual practice, and I'm not going to redo this. So let me just make sure I did. When you enter in the time of chaos and deconstruction, which we're doing collectively, the practice is trust. I'm not sure I said that, and it's so important that I do. Trust. We have to trust that what we're witnessing with our human eyes, yes, it's scary, it's heartbreaking, it's hard, but we must trust that this is part of unfolding. This is part of transformation. This is part of birthing in a new way of being for ourselves and for the world, for our country. Okay. Oh gosh, I can't believe I mistrust. Don't want to mistrust. We want to trust. So what was no longer exists, and what is yet to be formed or arrive hasn't. It's not here yet. So the spiritual practice here, when you're not a caterpillar and you're not a butterfly yet, you're just kind of hanging in that gooey unknowing and uncertainty. The practice is, I bet you're so tired of this practice, but we need more of this, more every day. And that is patience. Yep, patience. You can't, I like the reference for patience. You can't plant seeds of new possibilities, or literally plant seeds in the earth and then keep digging it up to see how they're growing. You have to just let them grow. And we need to let these seeds of possibilities grow within us and within the world. And it takes patience. Okay. So then the next phase that I identified is that we begin to go, okay, there's nothing here that I have, because I've dissolved all that. We connect to higher possibilities. We connect more deeply to divine possibilities. We connect more to creator or creation. And this is a spiritual practice of visioning. And I have a whole other online course on this, just this topic, visioning. And that's called the Sacred Soul Visioning Experience. And maybe I'll put a link for that class if you're interested. And then we go to emerging this new way of being. And it's kind of like fumbling with these new ways of being. It's like a baby learning to walk anew, or for the first time, a toddler learning to walk. Feels like a lot of us are learning to walk all over again, do everything differently, right? Well, this emerging phase is where it's a little, it's uncomfortable, You don't know how to do it. It's not natural yet. You make a lot of mistakes maybe because the default programming that you had, that you lived from and had your being from, you've dissolved that. I mean, of course, it's still part of our journey. And no matter how much deep transformational work you do, it's always there. And it's, I almost said inviting, but I don't want to say inviting. It's natural to fall back. It's natural to go to the default mechanisms because they're well practiced. You know, we know how to do that. What we don't know how to do consistently is to hold space for new possibilities and our true authentic natures. So this is the emerging, and it's messy and we fumble. So the spiritual practice is acceptance. Acceptance. Oh, I did it the way I used to do it again. Does that mean this transformation isn't working? No. You recognize I get to start again, and we need to offer, I should have grace in here, grace with the acceptance. Start again, try again, do again. The more you give that yourself permission to try again and practice in the direction of what you received during your willingness to let go of the old and invite in the new, it takes some time. So acceptance, okay? I think probably 2/3 of my videos are on acceptance. It's something that we need more of for ourselves and for each other. And then the next phase, the last phase I identify anyway, and sure there's a bit more I can, fine tune this, but this is where we've emerged and we can reach new heights. We are having new experiences. We've created patterns and structures and systems that support the highest good for ourselves and each other. And we're more aligned with our authentic nature. Okay? We're there, right? And by the way, there's no there because it's a transformational cycle. You get to stay in this phase for a little while, enjoy it while you can, because there will always be another transformational cycle around the corner. Probably not as extreme and intense as the one we're experiencing right now, hopefully not. But that's what I believe we're here to do. Continually evolve, grow, learn, expand, shed the old, invite the new, birth in new ways of being through ourselves, as ourselves, for the world, for each other. The thing is, the thing that most people agree on is, or have the shared experiences, that we don't really like trust, and the ego certainly doesn't. Oh my goodness, this is my third video in a row. The ego and we do not like change. I think we like trust. I hope we like trust. We need trust. We don't like change. I think it's something that we all can agree on. And the ego certainly doesn't like any change, like the same old thing. So this phase that we're moving towards with every choice, through our awareness and witnessing what is and what's within us, and that's the only place we have ultimate choice. What do I want to do here? Can I surrender this? Can I surrender this old way of being, this old thinking, this old belief that life and the political system even has to look this way, only this way? We surrender. We go through these phases over and over again, backwards and forwards. Transformation is not linear. Like I said, it's not like a to-do list, like I'll do this and then I'll do that. No, it's all over the place. It's up and it's down. It's a spiral. It's the cha-cha, 2 steps backwards, 2 steps forward. It's when you make peace with it, it's easier. So this last phase of reaching new heights together in ourselves, in the world, more aligned with authentic possibilities. Not the conditioned way of being, not from a fear-based mentality, but a trust-based, a trusting and allowing. And here's the word. The spiritual practice is being. Being who you are, being with others and their being in the world. And all of these other qualities are all woven in: acceptance and surrender and trust and love and compassion, always going to include those. So this being, and again, enjoy it while you can, while you're in a state of transformation that is being, and you feel like, whoo, I feel more like myself than ever before. I feel empowered. I feel Amazing, amazing. I feel aligned with who I truly am. And it's a powerful place to be able to give from and contribute from. But enjoy it while you can, because there's always going to be another transformational cycle. And you know what? That's something we all need to make peace with. We're in the big one right now. What are you choosing to do with it? What phase are you in? Where are you at? And are you allowing yourself to be where you are? And knowing you're doing the best you can. We all are. Honor where you are. Ask, what do I need in this phase? Okay, if you are in the phase of recognizing the way I've been doing things it's not working. The way I see the world is stuck. I'm limited. I'm going to need to just acknowledge that. And then I'm going to get to a place of allowing and surrendering and then moving on to all these other phases until you arrive at a new place where you're at peace in your being and at peace in the world, at home in yourself, at home in the world, just being the amazing, authentic you, contributing powerfully from that place and receiving and seeing the authentic, beautiful natures underneath all that we witness. Even someone who hasn't done their transformational work. Okay, that's playing a bigger game. All right, that's my little take on transformation cycle. I'd love to know where you are on your cycle and how you're being with yourself, or how you're nurturing your soul during the phase you're in. And that's key to all of it. Key to life, key to transformation, to stay connected to this beautiful soul that you are. Nurture that potential. Nurture those authentic inclinations, those desires, those passions. And you return to yourself over and over again in this ongoing unfolding, emerging more of your possibilities, more of what you're here to contribute. So thanks for sharing some time with me. Please comment below. I want to hear your feedback. And I want to know if I missed a step of transformation that you've experienced. I want to hear about that too. All right. Love yourself forward. Nurture that beautiful soul that you are, until we meet again next time.